through a series of military formations and maneuvers taught to our past, present, and future military aviators. And now watch overhead as the GEICO Skytypers enter the airshow space using the overhead tactical approach. Military pilots going into a hot area use this type of approach in a hostile environment to assess the situation on the ground below. Once the formation detects a threat, the aircraft must split up and maneuver aggressively to avoid being targeted. Watch now as the 6 aircraft continue to separate and check all 6 quadrants. The solos will now return to give you an example of one type of air-to-air maneuver called the 2-gun circle pass. The opposing aircraft will pass as close as possible and then turn into each other to create 2 circles in an attempt to get behind the other to gain advantage. The head-on encounters may be handled differently depending on the situation. The opponent, when they meet like that, they have really one decision, and that is to see how fast they can get back into the formation. Let's watch now as our 2 solos complete the formation versus element intercept. The 2-ship is now going to swing right back in front, and we'll watch what happens with the 4-ship. Now the 2-ship returning from the right. They're soon to engage the 4-ship that is entering from the left. 320 miles per hour. The 2-ship right now weighing the odds to turn or to bug out. Let's watch them. As the 4-ship formation turns away, watch from the left as the solos quickly change their minds and decide to pitch back into the fight. Follow the solos as they enter a combat air patrol or a CAP and perform a search for the formation. This type of CAP can be employed with onboard radar with assistance from an airborne command and control platform, or performed visually if the threat is close. As the solos get a tally or a visual, they'll turn towards the 4-ship formation. The solos, now they've discovered more than expected. The Delta switch to a line abreast, or as we call it, a wall of SNJs. This formation is the same flight position used when the team skytypes messages. Once in trail, the group will now regroup into a more effective formation in order to continue their mission. These aircraft each weigh about 5,500 pounds and use a 600 horsepower supercharged 9-cylinder radial engine. The Pratt & Whitney R1340, all overhauled by Tulsa aircraft engines. And now straight ahead, as the Solos approach, we'll watch them set up for the guns jig. Fight is on, as it's already been called, and the Solos now respond by turning back towards each other. Now this tests the pilot's skill and avoids any other advantage going into a head-on pass. Fighter pilots call this maneuver the merge. Now we're watching for the advantage start developing. There it is. You can see it. Two swinging in behind one. As the wing solo maneuvers to take in a shot, the lead solo is forced to fly in that unpredictable path in order to reverse, escape, or face the possibility of getting shot down. That maneuver, commonly called the guns jig. Controlling aircraft, also called the FACs, have approached the area and confirmed there is enemy equipment on the ground. 4 aircraft are now called in to strafe the targets. Look to your left, and soon you will see all 4 aircraft approaching the enemy targets in the echelon formation. This formation is often seen in a wartime movie and also documentaries. The aircraft will roll in high on a big strafe angle and take out those targets down below. Watch as each aircraft abruptly pulls up to evade enemy gunfire. They don't want to get hit. And then begin the strafing runs. Here they go. That's Larry Arkin, Chris Thomas, Ken Johansson, and Chris Orr. Approach from behind, they'll demonstrate a radar intercept based on information received from radar on board their aircraft. Overhead, the Solos have detected a group of threatening aircraft intending to attack the target area. The Solos will maneuver to gain advantage on the other aircraft by splitting up. The solo pilots today are lead solo Tom Daly and wing solo Dino Harros. Watch as the Diamond approaches to strategically maneuver and get around that big intercept. Here we have it. Solos, or the air-to-air, I should say, threat neutralized, the bombers can now approach and destroy the remaining enemy assets on the ground. Look straight ahead as the Solos return to finish the job. Notice how the Solos continue to alter their position in order to remain unpredictable. They're going to fly under the radar coverage. The Solos will once again pop up to surprise the enemy on the ground. and deliver the ordnance. Prepares for its next coordinated maneuver, the GEICO Skytypers would like to invite you to learn a little bit more about their sponsor. GEICO can assist you with all of your insurance needs. During their 78-year history, GEICO has received a long list of diverse honors, awards, and consumer testimonials for their impressive service to 12 million private passenger customers and 20 million vehicles. GEICO's focus and care for people can be seen in every aspect of its operation. The GEICO Skytypers partners would like to promote and educate people about GEICO's insurance products and services through team appearances, Skytype messages, and Airshow performances. Let's watch straight ahead as the solos draw that giant heart in the sky. Now the diamond will transition into a vertical diamond, and watch as that diamond flies directly through the heart drawn by the solos. As the team regroups for a special pass, the GEICO Skytypers would like to recognize the men responsible for keeping these vintage aircraft in such fine shape. The aircraft technicians are Frank Antria, Mike Beecroft, Mac McMillan, and Greg Coons. Finally, we'd also like to recognize another key member of our team, Advanced Pilot and Ground Operations Officer, Mr. Jim Record. These aircraft are operated most of the year in the New York metro area and are based at the Republic Airport in Farmingdale, Long Island. If you'd like to see photos, videos, or simply get more information on the team, you can follow them on Facebook or Twitter under GEICO Skytypers. Or you can visit the team's website at GEICOSkytypers.com. In addition, check out their YouTube channel for some great videos, including the Information webisode series. The webisodes provide an insider's look at life as an airshow performer. You can also find links to our associate sponsors, Aspen Avionics, Bendix King by Honeywell, CamGuard Aviation, Gulf Coast Avionics, Tulsa Aircraft Engines, Plane Logics, and Wayland Engineering. As the team rejoins into a single Delta formation, the GEICO Skytypers would like to dedicate their next maneuver to the men and women in our armed services, all of those who especially support the United States military. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the GEICO Skytypers and the GEICO Skytypers Fan Pass. As the GEICO Skytypers show you how all military aircraft, including the military performance jet teams, rejoin into a single formation. The Skytypers will perform another 90-degree turn to set up for their rejoin to the Delta formation. As the lead starts a turn and begins to smoke just a little bit for identification purposes, the other aircraft add power to put their noses in front of the lead in order to fly a shorter distance. Each pilot must be aware of the position of all of the aircraft so they can rejoin as quickly and safely as possible. The flight leader is the forwardmost member of the formation and is responsible for the direction and integrity of the flight team. The wingmen must maintain their respective positions while constantly referencing the flight lead. A majority of the pilots on the team earned their wings through military training in the Air Force, the Navy, and the Marines. Many became commercial airline pilots after completing their military service. Now let's follow the team in the Delta formation as they begin to make their way to show center to complete their final maneuver, the Delta pitch to land. off as they start to break. Number 1, Number 2, Chris Thomas. Number 3, Ken Johansson. And number 4, Chris Orr. Number 5, Tom Daly. And number 6, Dino Peros. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017 GEICO Skytypers. GEICO and the GEICO Skytypers would like to thank you for supporting this air show and its great sponsors. Please stop by and talk with the folks at GEICO in their tent today. You could also get a team picture and some great little gecko gifts. Remember though, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more at geico.com. Our thanks to the GEICO Skytypers. Get the GEICO Skytypers on the ground. Do we want to hear some inside baseball? We've got a few of you photographers back here. We have an airplane that is going to fly in a few minutes. The Corsair will be flying. You can see Mark Murphy coming out. This is, well, I'm going to go ahead and call it the debut performance of the airplane in its current paint scheme. This is a tribute to John Glenn. So you'll notice Godspeed painted on the side of it. You'll see that here in just a few moments. JG on the tail for John Glenn. And the quote about Godspeed there on the side. A familiar quote from Mr. John Glenn himself. Mark Murphy at the controls today of the Corsair. You'll see John Glenn's name emblazoned on the side of it. He flew with the Marine Corps Squadron during World War II. And I know a lot of you were asking, you said, who's the Corsair? Where is the Corsair from? Who is it? Well, there it is. Mark Murphy's going to fly it today.